We're trying something different. So on today's episode, we nerd out. We talk about Marvel. We talk about anime, the MCU. We also nerd about fashion trends, and we have a few corrections we'd like to issue. So the thought experiment enclosed or disclosed was called Roko's Basilisk, and we meant to mention Marvel's Eternals, the movie with Angelina Jolie and Rob Stark and Jon Snow. Thank you for your time. We appreciate you. So like and subscribe. Enjoy the episode. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Difficult to Please podcast, episode 58.
Yeah. Yeah, what's up?
I know it's always a new thing. That's like our thing. I say it and you figure it out. We are recording on Thursday, February 22nd, 2024.
Almost
our
months.
First official episode, of the new year.
Yeah,
crazy.
I know. You know, I was thinking about it the other day with some friends. I was like, I think everyone's just busy being a dad. Like that's all I said. I'm like, I think he's just busy being a dad. And like, if he told me like, hey, I can't record until like June, I'd be like, I get it. Like, I'd be like, yeah, I get it. It's fine. I don't see anyone with kids anymore anyway. So.
No, that's actually closer to the truth because like, tonight I was like pushing up to like 8:30 because we were trying to get Amelia to bed. And she just like she fights sleep all the time, so it's hard to get a good time after like 8. So I was like, all right, 6, 9. But yeah, the other night I was like, I had some. I'm working on a client logo, and I was just like, dude, I'm just fucking fresh out of ideas. I'm in a fucking. You know when you're in a creative block and you just kind of like doubt yourself. I'm pretty sure you're like familiar with this. Well, when you're in a block and you just kind of like all your ideas, you think all your ideas are like trash. You're like, fuck.
Yep. Yeah.
That was me last night. We were supposed to record last night, but I was like, dude, I got this thing. Yeah, for a client, I gotta take care of this.
Fair. What'd you end up figuring out? Did you end up figuring out a design, or is it still on back burner?
I have at least 2 versions I want to present, but then I asked to send something tomorrow, so that's what I'm working on after we wrap up tonight.
Okay, interesting. I'm just curious how your process usually goes. Do you draft up like 5 or 6 designs and like, here you go?
Well, it's somewhat like that, but it's like once I parse out an intake first meeting of like what they're thinking, it's kind of like fleshing out everything that they think of immediately, and then kind of thinking about the vibe and what they want to say, but they don't know how to express it.
That's fair.
And that's the hardest part because it's like I've learned through different times. It's like you do a logo you think works and it just matches what they say on paper, but then they don't like it for some odd reason. Like it doesn't vibe with anything. And I'm like,
right.
It's catching all the vibes that you want to, that you can't like really suss out until you like get them to talk about it in other ways. And that's where it's like the hard part. You're like, how the fuck does this make sense? And then it becomes like, okay, and then it's artist versus artist in my brain. It's like, me versus me. I'm like, does this idea suck? Is this trash? Like, I'm like overthinking it or I'm underthinking it. It's just like, it's that creative struggle, man. Difficult to please. Period.
Oh yeah, difficult to please yourself or someone else. It's so weird, right?
I know.
That is insane. I mean, that's probably like the struggle everyone else kind of goes through. So when I was studying like product design and stuff like that, what always helped like designers was just to have like even a sketch down, right? Just like something so basic to present to somebody, just so you can flesh out ideas. You'd be like, this is kind of like the vibe I was going for, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, do you think you could do something of like this kind of vibe? Right? Like, so basically presenting you, they would go to you, present a like a version of ideas, right? Rather than you being like, hey, I want something cool for our brand. This is what we stand for. Good luck. Like you don't have our brand integrity, so good luck. Because I wasn't really going to talk about AI, but this actually seems like a really good time to talk about it. Because like, have you seen the chat the GPT store where they have like logo makers now? It's like
I haven't seen that.
It fleshes out basic ideas for me, and I'm just like, cool. I'll take this, put this in my little pin board, and then like I'll make something out of it now. So like me getting rid of like logo and like icon ideas is just like it's just like that now. I'm like, okay, cool, got it. And then about the whole like I don't want to say like the artist block, man. Like I was writing this one short story, and it took me like almost 5 years to finally like think about how to write it. Like I just had a random epiphany the other night about it. I was like, oh god, how do writers like actually like write through this struggle? Like I had to write like 10 different things first before I came back to that one. But yeah, no, I totally feel you, man. Artist versus artist struggle inside is like insane. It's insane. But
well, yeah, because it's like, yeah, totally understand, and that's why we're the most pro AI podcast fucking out there. Because it's like the self doubt, right? Like you kind of like when you start sketching it out, brainstorming the idea, you're like, damn, this is like it's not what I thinking about, or it's not like up to par what I'm visualizing in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's like the idea might be trash, so you just kind of like, you know, for me it's like moving that like idea off to like off the artboard and then trying something different. Mm-hmm. So it's like that. It's the constant, man. Like for all other creatives out there, it's like the same thing. Like AI does a little bit of like getting through some of that block of it like does. Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, like where I enter, it's like, how do I make this make sense for this person, right? Or my client, or this business? Like how, like they can go and do that, like ChatGPT or like other AI supported like software. But it's like where is the creative in getting that idea that makes sense to them, which they can't get off AI?
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, perhaps, like, let's say, okay, let's just say if it was me, right? If it was me going to you for a project and I didn't know how to express it, I think what I would do was I would do like 10 mock AI stuff, and like, this is kind of like what I'm looking for, but it's not quite there yet, right? It's only doing 6% of the job. Then I would go to you, present to you, like, here's my case, blah, blah, blah. And here are like 10 stuff I generated from AI. And like, could you create something like wouldn't that be like a better visualization at that? You like, okay, cool. I can kind of see what they're going for. They kind of I can see they're going for these colors or these shapes or whatever, or something like that. Rather than you just be like, yo, straight dumb, go for it. You got this. At least that's how I see it. That's how I see it.
No,
yeah, that's how I see it.
That's why, like, everything that I think as anybody who approaches a creative, whether that's writing or like any kind of illustration, of like, if you have an idea that you have, AI can help you kind of get that brainstorm versus like you drawing stick figures if you're not good at storyboarding or anything else. So it's like, it's helpful. I mean, from my point of view, I think it's helpful to kind of parse down and get to the like core of what the idea looks like really, versus me trying to guess and wasting my own time of like figuring out what you're really looking for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. And I'm hoping more people end up doing that in the future. But yeah. Anyways, that was a random tangent about work in AI.
That was unexpected.
Yeah, I know, right? But what it is expected is my 298th day of not working. Still looking for a job.
Not enough minerals.
Hey, you said you want a year, right? You said you want a year.
Yeah, but I was also dashing. I got my W-2s back from dashing, and I'm like, damn, I made 12 foul,
Damn.
gross. And I'm like, that was like, I mean, I granted at some point, like by the time April started rolling in, I significantly cut down, but still, like, I was still doing it on the weekends and whatnot. So it's like, yeah, in essence, it was like a G a month, but I'm like, sometimes it was like two G's a month, and then it was like down to like 1G, 500, blah blah blah. But it was that's just a grind, bro. That's why I'm like, yeah, that's why it was hard. Like, for my advice, it's like you got to do something to keep your mind busy, and like if it's dashing or talking to people in the lift, whatever. It's just like that grind of like job apps, man. That shit is like,
it's so rough, especially with all the layoffs now.
Dude. Yep.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna bite my tongue and like go back to pharmacy just for a little bit, and then go from there. That's it. I mean, there's not much I could do at this point. Like, all right, whatever. I'll suck it up. It's fine. Do more operational stuff. Hopefully.
Yeah, I was like, do you think you're going to be more like back into that like managerial, or is it more like you're trying to step away from that part?
I wouldn't mind managerial. I think I would rather do more of a specialist role now. Like I'd rather do. So there's this one position I was looking at. It's so funny. Elaine and I have been talking about this. Rap's sister, and she's like, I applied for that job you're applying for. I'm like, yeah, I'm probably gonna get it over you because I was already been doing it, kind of thing. It's a process improvement person. So
yeah.
And I think I'm finding my calling that I like doing like operations. And I'm like, oh, this is so weird. So that's like one of the things I'm kind of leaning toward. Is like, oh, how can I influence like business decisions kind of thing now? Or like workflow or something like that. I think that's just like the shit I'm drawn to. So I think that's what I'm gonna end up doing in the future. Something along those process improvement kind of lines. Quality improvement, I don't know what you want to call it. But yeah, so that's what I'm looking for right now. Yep. While doing data analysis stuff. I don't know. I actually considered working for the government for a while. Thinking about public life. I think with everything going on in the world, I was like, damn, I think we need more public life people. Oh, that's just me.
In what aspect, I guess, is the follow-up? Like,
so Biden has a thing called AI.gov where he's taking all these people who want to go into public service and help like improve like the concept of AI in government and like. So I think they're trying to recruit people from private sectors to come work for the government, basically. So it's go, and like that's kind of like grabbing my attention too. So I'm just gonna try for that also, on top of like trying to find some other work. We'll see.
You're trying to follow the what's the Kai-Fu Lee type model?
Yeah, it's so weird. Yeah, like that's like my holy AI doctrine. It's so weird. But yeah, I would agree. Like every time like I go into a discussion about AI, I always like I have like Kai-Fu Lee's 2 charts like ready to go. Like it's like in my drive ready to go to get just post that link. I'm like blah 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 this. Like I had a friend who came up to me about it, and he was talking about he's just kind of worried about like an AI overlord, and I'm like, that sounds similar to like do you believe in like in the ballast theory or whatever it's called, the one about whether it's an AI or a god, where if this AI or god like comes to you, like comes to existence, it's gonna know everybody who helped support it or believed in it, and then it will punish everyone who did not contribute to its like, I guess, growth or whatever you want to call it, to its building. So it's like an existential question that's like that basically says like your best odds are believing in God, because if there's a 50-50 chance that God like comes to exist, like comes to you in person, he's gonna know, or God's gonna know everything, like everyone who did not believe in them, and will punish them harshly. So it's like, damn, am I really gonna like rely on a 50-50 chance on like that's like the thing I was kind of like going through with him. Like I was trying to understand his situation, He's like, yeah, kind of.
Fucked up too. It's like, damn, that's fucked up.
It's a thought experiment, right? It's a weird thought experiment. It's like a hard, like existential thought experiment. That's usually though was originally used for religious people and like atheists, and then somehow it got shifted to AI overlord. So that's how I was trying to ask him. Like I was trying to understand his way of thinking. He's like, yeah, kind of. I kind of see like if it's just all too powerful and it's just general knowledge, if it's a master of general knowledge, and it like what if it gets sentience where it's like you see in those like JRPGs and like anime storylines and like Marvel storylines where it's like everyone's kind of nihilistic and it's just like, okay, well, what's the point? I'm going to Ultron everything and just destroy humanity to save it from itself kind of thing. And he thinks like that's like the route that like the AI will like decide for us. I'm like,
so basically Kang.
Yeah, Kang and Ultron from Marvel. Kang. Yeah, Kang Conquer and like Ultron pretty much like put together.
Oh shit. Well, I only thought about it because I'm like, recently I read an article at IGN where Marvel and Kevin Feige announced that they're gonna change the Avengers movie, the Kang Dynasty, to something else, and it's just kind of like, yeah, like what, bro? You bet all your chips on
Jonathan
personalities, yeah, Jonathan Majors, and then it's like, yo, he got caught up. You know, he got. I didn't get caught up. What am I gonna say?
He did some shit. He did some shit.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you say that? Yeah, he did some shit, and he got guilty. And now they're like, oh fuck, we can't really fuck with Jonathan Majors. But man, he was so good in fucking Lovecraft Country.
Lovecraft Country too. Yeah, he was really good.
He was. I think he was way better in that than in Loki, or as Kang. I think, to be honest, he's really fucking good at Lovecraft.
Oh yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, I mean that's how I started really knowing like Jonathan Majors was from.
I think that was
Lovecraft
his breakout role. To be honest, that was like,
yeah, that was his breakout role because he had other roles, but that was definitely the one like I really noticed him on. But I think that's how he got critically recognized, right? And then what's crazy is like, well, kind of technically they still do it with Kang. They just use a different actor. I mean, they're pretty much gonna do that with what's gonna come up in the upcoming Deadpool and Wolverine movie, right? They're kind of grabbing everyone from different franchises, from different like studios. Like Jennifer Garner is gonna be in the Deadpool Wolverine movie as like Elektra, but Matt Murdock from the Netflix series has a different Elektra. It's not Jennifer Gardner, you know what I mean? Unless freaking Ben Affleck's gonna be in this movie too.
No, because like whatchamacall, like
Colin Farrell.
Well, even recently, how they recast, they're gonna redo the Fantastic Four movie again, and they just recasted everybody. I'm just like, oh. Like,
they had Jim already.
I really thought they were gonna do John Krasinski, but
and Emily Blunt.
Yeah, that would be the go. Oh fuck, that would have been the go. Shit, damn.
That would have been a funny.
That would have been a funny.
But I don't think they're committed to it, right? Because like,
no, I don't know.
I think he just probably saw it and he's like, damn, I'm going to be doing Marvel movies for the next like 6-7 years. Fuck. Just kidding.
When it's like, yeah, like even the Phase 5, like whatever, like how Quantum Mania was supposed to set up like the Phase 5, but it's like, with what anchor movie? Like, what characters are going to be like the main ones?
Yeah, I don't understand what's going on. I don't. But then again, you can also argue that the first Avenger movies, it took a while to come out because like I don't think they even had a full idea of like what they wanted to do. Because I didn't think,
I remember.
Like, I didn't think they thought it was going to go that far, right? I thought like after everyone's 3 movies, they're pretty much they're out, right? So maybe that's what they thought it was. Like, okay, 3 movies are out, but then it blew up. So it blew up that they're like, oh shit, we need like an
we gotta keep
overarching
going.
villain. Yeah, and that's when like
We're gonna make
Guardians of the Galaxy, or was it Loki? Or was it the first Avengers movie where they first introduced Thanos? I forgot what movie, but yeah. But that took a while. I forget
which
right?
one too. Yeah,
it took a while. Well, what's the MCU's problem with this phase is that they straight up said like it's this dude. He's the one. Like he's the one we're all gonna watch out right now. And it's like fuck. We bet too many chips on him. Too many chips. What now? What now?
Yeah, unless they're gonna recast, do something different, or like change the storyline. I don't know. I just feel like how Doctor Strange kind of like contradicted like its own kind of storyline and plot in itself. Like I feel like they're just gonna like the writing is just gonna like start deteriorating. So I don't know. I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm more excited. Like, I kind of wish, like, MF2, I keep saying this shit. Doctor Doom is like the main villain because that's kind of like I'd rather just do that.
Right, just pivot everything to Doctor Doom. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, because there's nothing wrong with that because since Loki was like the main villain in the first Avengers movie, he was only introduced in Thor. You know what I mean? And Thor was like the later stage of the MCU, or in the first phase or whatever you want to call it, right? So, I still think they could do it. They could still, but they do have to conclude the multiple Kangs, though, right? They already fucking showed all.
They gotta wrap it up somehow.
Yeah, they gotta wrap it up somehow. So whether it's recasting, I think that's what they should do. I think the Kang Dynasty, if they're gonna change it to that, because like just end Kang's story there. Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's so many random things going on. Like, I was trying to think about Shang-Chi and stuff like that. Shang-Chi. And I was like, okay, what do the bracelets have to do with it? What do the Celestials have to do with it?
And because they set it up and it's like Celestials was a big ass flop. Fucking, I don't know what they're gonna do with Shang-Chi. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they need to kind of like pivot directions. Because what Deadpool, the what do you call it? The Echo series is really good. If you've ever seen it,
I gotta get into it.
I really enjoy it, and it's what's good about that is that Marvel is now doing a thing where it's just like, well, we're only gonna do one-off series that does not have to do with the MCU, and that's what Echo was. It has nothing to do with the MCU at all. All it's doing is setting up Kingpin for Daredevil. That's the only point of this series. Because they need to like bring some street level crime stuff back to like the MCU.
Yeah, like I miss all the dark stuff, dark Marvel stuff on Netflix, like Daredevil, Punisher, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage.
They need that.
Yeah, it was
that's a better TV series.
Because it was like dark. Like just because like the whole like MCU is like lighthearted fun. There's nothing at like stake. I mean, there's like the world's universes are at stake, but it's like kind of like okay, like I'm an everyday person. Like fucking Daredevil is a lawyer by day, dude. Like
and Hell's Kitchen, like a very segmented part of New York. Hell's Kitchen, you know what I mean? And then
he doesn't even mess with Spider-Man. Spider-Man's not even that hood. So like,
I mean, I think in the story they butt heads a few times because it's like a different theory, a different philosophy in like saving New York, right? And then, dude, they really like. Speaking of Spider-Man, I really hope they bring Spider-Man to the street level crime again, right? To be the
I don't see them doing like fucking like.
Because everyone forgot him.
Shit after this, I don't know. Or even like I thought it was weird, like how Madam Web was like produced, because I thought they were gonna do Madam Web in conjunction with like the fucking the Secret Wars storyline. So I really thought they were gonna push that like later, not like now. Dakota Johnson and everyone else.
Wait, I heard that movie was like a giant flop, but
I've read Rotten Tomatoes. It's like flopping hard.
is it flopping hard because it's just not good, or what? Because Dakota Jones is like not a bad actress at all.
I think it's just the writing, and I want to say like it just doesn't make sense because like they teased like Spider-Man was gonna be in there, but there's no Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's so weird. It's so weird. Like, let's just like I think Sony just needs to take that knee finally and be like, all right, you know, we're just not gonna touch this franchise anymore. We had a good run with the first two Spider-Man series, and right now it's so focused on the MCU. Like, I don't see them like they're trying really hard, but the only thing they really got going for them is the Miles Morales series. That's pretty much all they got going.
That's it, because it's animated and it's like
it's really good.
Oh, it's really done.
Fucking good.
It's really good.
It's really fucking good.
The animation, the artwork, like it's I don't know how to describe it. It just feels very avant-garde for like the realm of like 3D and what you can do like digitally. Just the way that like the various like glitch artwork, bringing in like the pop art comic book feel at the same time. It's just kind of like this is like one of a kind. This is the only like real like I guess series that's doing this. I don't know much about anime, or if anyone in the anime realm is doing that type of work. So like,
well,
you obviously know more of that.
What they have in common with the anime world is everyone's being worked to death. Like, that's for low pay. Like, that's what's common. Like, did you hear that it's going to get delayed? The third movie is going to get delayed because it's just everyone got so burnt out, and
I can
just
imagine
pushing deadlines. Yeah,
I can imagine.
So I don't think we're going to see anything in that front for a while. But yeah. No. I mean, you can say the same thing about the anime world too. There are so many, like, right now in the anime world, there's a studio that's just pushing like hit after hit after hit, right? But the problem with it is like it's so unsustainable. Like, no way that these people are getting sleep, or no way that their budget's like that big to producing like high level, like consistently. Like, I think it's like a petition in the US where they're like, you gotta give these artists more time off or rest or pay them more or something like that, because it's crazy. Like, they can't be dishing out, the studio can't be dishing out high level anime like consistently, like almost 2 shows this season kind of thing. It's like, bro, do these people even fucking sleep kind of thing? Like, do they work at work? Do they live at work kind of thing? Is this like the tech home for anime
fucking
over there?
Japanese work culture plus like
yeah,
video game type burnout. I get it. I see that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. It's gonna be so freaking nuts. And like, you know, it's like kind of funny that I'm hearing that it always, like, these kind of complaints always come from like the States kind of thing, right? From Western audiences, which I'm just like, that's kind of weird, because I'm beginning to notice there's like a lot of pile on from like Western cultures, like going after like other countries and their labor practices and stuff like that. And like, I totally feel that, right? Like, I'm totally with them. Like, I'm like, yeah, I get it. But at the same time, it's like, but I kind of think it's like, I'm kind of hearing like what's going on, and it kind of feels like this pile on is just like a bunch of like shaming culture. And like, I'm not too comfortable with it, because I always think like there's always two sides to different stories kind of thing. And what we know is kind of thing. Like, whether it's like people complaining to a company, like, and telling, and like the fans telling like the people who work at the company, like, hey, get out, they're not treating you well. Or like, you know, you could do your own thing, blah, 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 or start your own studio. Or I don't know, whatever you want to call it, right? But at the same time, it's kind of like, well, you're kind of messing with these people's livelihoods. Like, we don't exactly know what happens internally. Like, yeah, on the surface, it could be a shit show. Like, like Twitter could be like a shit show right now, but internally, it could be working really, really well. For example, I mean, Zoe Schaffer and like there's this other author who just released a book on Twitter, and like that's not the case. But anyway,
That's not the case.
that's not the case on Twitter. I'm sorry. Like, that was a pretty damning book about the company culture. But you know what I mean? Like, maybe let me use SpaceX, like, for example, because of like Elon's like outside appearance, it could look like that SpaceX doesn't look that good, but internally it could be like a really, really great company to work for, kind of thing. It's just, I mean, I guess what appearances are everything, right? Even when it comes to companies, appearances are everything. And like, I guess I'm speaking from like the manager side of things. So I'm like trying to hear these perspectives. I'm like, all those like arguments are so valid, right? All that's very, very valid. But like on the manager side, it's kind of like, well, there's other things too you need to consider too. Yeah, like, well, there's some things you got to consider as well, right? You got to consider like legal stuff and blah 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 or whatever you want to call it. Like me, like I get called out for trying to break up unions. Like I've like some of my friends have considered me like so anti-union, and I'm just like, that's fair, but you didn't let me finish my case though, kind of thing, right? So, for example, like for the record, I'm a very pro-union person, but I understand that there are so many nuances to a union, right? Like, I'm very skeptical of unions because one, it's a business. Remember, it's a business too, and like B, it depends on how much leverage you have as a business, right? Like I just showed Erwin an article about these college campus kids who are petitioning Starbucks to get off the campus due to like unfair labor practices, right? But what they don't know is that because it's franchised, technically they're already unionized, right? Those student workers who work at a Starbucks, those managers who work on campus for Starbucks, they're already unionized. And it's the same thing if you go to a Starbucks at a supermarket, like a Albertsons, Ralph's, I don't know what exists anymore, Vaughn's, whatever. They're all unionized too. So, you know, like that's a very like half-hearted like argument. Now, the union agreements are happening like at the regular retail stores. Dude, it's already been 2 years and they haven't thought of an agreement yet. And that's why I'm saying like it's a very ineffective union. You compare it to a good union like the auto industry, they won their fights just like that. You know what I mean? Like they broke those deals with like Ford, GM, and blah 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 so quick, and that's because they had leverage. And I feel like most unions nowadays don't have leverage. So I don't know. Sorry, that was like a big soapbox kind of thing. But like again, I support unions. I just again, they need to be really well done, and you have to have really good negotiation and people who are willing to fight for you. And you have to have leverage. Number one.
Yeah, I think the point of those folks or the students that were trying to like to be in kind of like in solidarity with other like Starbucks stores trying to unionize. Like,
and
I see the sentiment, but like. Yeah, if you just like look at it,
it's inefficient. That's it. That's my only problem. Is like I don't want them to get like discouraged about it. Like I think people should be fighting for the right to organize, but you have to win too. You have to win to be convincing to unionize. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, that's capitalist. So
that's also applies to unions. Fucking capitalist pig. Capitalism. Fucking late stage capitalism. But I think. The labor movement has been kind of growing with the last 10 years. I think part of it is because of like stagnant wages across the board.
Stagnant? It's been over 30 years. It's been since the 80s. What are you talking about? Stagnant? It's been dead.
Stagnant wages. But
that's a Reagan. That's a Reagan thing.
Well, even like what do you say? Like when we were working at Starbucks inside the Albertsons, right? Minimum wage was like $7.50, right?
Yeah, but we were getting paid like 15. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think I wasn't paid 15.
Okay, 12, 13, something like. Sorry, I don't remember. 12 or 13.
Yeah, because I was like, it was like 07, 08. It was like I was making like 50 cents a quarter above federal minimum wage, and I was like, I felt like, oh shit, this is tight. Like I'm making a little bit above minimum wage. This is like sick, and then it's like, but those wage, the federal minimum wage stayed the same. California's went up a little by little, and it's just kind of like, yo, like I know that wasn't like a big part of like the strategy for, I don't know, maybe I'm just making shit up, facts don't matter, but like the union strategy to push legislation to get that shit like up increasingly up to where it is right now. But like at a point in time, like when I was working at the retail Starbucks, I low-key wish I had a union, just because like I would have liked the minimum hours. I think that like that was a nice part of having a union, is like you had the minimum hours. Like you couldn't, like your management didn't had to have you at this amount of time and figure out, you know, your schedule. So that was like the nice, like I wish I had that just so that I can like get the money or whatever. But like, yeah, I mean, I could see it when you get these college kids and folks like us that were like underemployed for how many years. It's like, yo, like I'm still food and bev, like having a base pay and not worried about like my hours fluctuating too crazy. Like, yo, that would have been nice.
Yo, UBI, Andrew Yang. Just kidding.
Fuck, Andrew Yang needs to give us money, dog. Fuck.
Yeah, no, but you know, like, anyways, to wrap it back into the whole animation industry. Yeah, no, that's what I'm like thinking when I hear like people from like Western things like criticize like the work culture of other countries, and I'm just like, that's a cultural thing, right? That's something that Gen Z Japan has to figure out. That's something that millennial Japan has to figure out, right? Because we're all dealing with the same shit, right? We're all dealing with the aftermath of what the boomers are doing to like everyone, right?
Yeah, because it's like, would you like, if you had the opportunity to go to Japan to work on a work visa, would you?
No.
Exactly. No, like.
Oh.
I think there is obviously there is a small sliver of population who would willingly do that because of their own like life situation, but it's like that work culture has been like that for like 30-40 years. Like,
yeah,
I don't want to get out of work at like 11 every night for 6 days a week, you know.
See, like, when I think of like Japan's, I'm just using Japan for example. I'm not sure how it is in every other country too. I'm pretty sure it happens in other Asian countries too. But like,
yeah, it's like more Asian than it is European, obviously.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely more more than European. Freaking Finland works until like 5 hours a day. I love that kind of shit. Anyways, I think what's crazy about Japan's work culture is that everyone who works is basically working as if they were their own business owner. You know what I mean? Like, if you told me I work 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day, 7 days a week, my assumption is that, oh, you own a business, right? Like, you must own a business or something. Like, you must be the sole owner or responsibility of something like that, right? Like, like the pop-up coffee shops or something like that, right? There's a dude who just runs all of it. Fine, I get it, right? You got to get up in the morning, you got to roast those beans, you got to get the shipment, get the milk, sign it off, and you know what I mean? So, like, I totally get it. But if you're just working like a salary job when that's telling you to come in from like 9 to 11 p.m., boss. You're like, what the fuck?
No way.
No overtime too. It's like, or no overtime pay. You're like, the fuck? Oh, why? You know what I mean? So, and I think what we're noticing about, like, at least with Gen Z and a little bit with millennials, I think we're kind of noticing with millennials with COVID and all, but we're noticing that like there's a lot of pushback now. This is something that we discussed like in management over. I was talking to one of my supervisors before I left, or the manager, and we're just discussing like population trends in the workforce. And she's like, "What do you think?" I'm like, "I think people are gonna start noticing like corporate bullshit, and they're not gonna be afraid to leave now. And if you try to force everyone to do like if you force everyone to get online, I think a lot of people are just gonna dip." And she's like, "Yeah, I kind of noticed that too. So like, what do you think could happen?" I'm like, "You gotta raise everyone's pay. To be honest, you need to raise everyone's pay, give them chances to grow and stuff like that." And she's like, "I see. She's like, I understand that, but we're like also on a budget restriction." I'm like, "Well, you're good with that, so whatever
Retention's
you
so
can do."
hard, man.
Huh?
Just like retention. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, and I told them like, yeah,
What are you gonna
retention's
do?
gonna be harder. Like the only people you're gonna be able to grasp, like keep, are people who are super desperate. And like, unfortunately, that's the thing. But if it was someone like me or someone who like had a little bit more flexibility, they're all out. Like what I'm already knowing about my old job is that half the people who's working there now, like I don't even recognize them. Right? I actually went back there to say goodbye to somebody, and like one of the pharmacists told me like, "You won't recognize half the people now." I'm like, "Oh, that's weird because you guys are gonna lose more than half within 2 years." Because they told me, like, they gave me the heads up, like, "Hey, I'm gonna quit, but it's gonna be within like 2 to 5 years or 2 to 3 years, kind of thing." I'm like, "Okay, fair." That's why I was like trying to get like a training plan and like this is how many people we need training, blah blah blah. And I think that's gonna be an ongoing issue. So what I wanted to say was like, I think it's fine that millennials and Gen Zs are finally like saying like, "Fuck this, I'm out," kind of thing. And I think that's probably gonna be a good thing. I think that's a good capitalist strategy, right? Because now it's saying like, I don't have to stay here anymore. Like you don't have to buy me out. Or maybe they'll do like what Google does, is just buy out competition, right? They'll buy out the engineers and like Silicon Valley them and put them on the roof and be like, "All right, you can do whatever you want. You're on our pay grade. Do whatever. Ta-ta. We bought you out. You're good. Don't fuck up our Google." kind of thing, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, I feel like there's just not much to keep people around besides just pay.
Yeah.
Pay
Seriously,
and the
pay.
promise of like leveling up so you can get your pay better.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if your work culture sucks, your company culture sucks. So like, why the fuck are we gonna stay more longer than we need to?
And I think that's what And I think that's what they should do in Japan too. Like I think if you're really that concerned with animation studios and stuff like that, like one, here's the drawbacks. They're going to produce less anime. That's one thing, right? Like scale down the anime, either hire to pay, scale down the anime, or something like that, or use like alternative labor practices. Like when I watch anime nowadays, I see a lot of credits from like Vietnam and like India and stuff like that. Like people are really getting involved.
I thought you were gonna say fucking like just be like Miyazaki, just never retire.
Oh yeah, or never retire. That's gonna be your other thing. Just never retire. Retirement is a dream that none of us will be able to
Miyazaki's living the dream. No retirement. I just draw cartoons all day, bro.
And I smoke cigarettes and I just get upset about the anime world. I'm like, hell yeah, that's my shit.
Smoke cigarettes, ride bikes all day.
Yeah.
Talk to my cats and shit.
Hell yeah. That's the ultimate dream we all been striving for.
It's such a trip to continually see like Miyazaki, like, oh, is this his last film? No, man, he's motherfucking gonna work till he's dead. I don't know if that's the work culture or that's just like his dedication to the craft.
I think it's dedication to the craft, right?
Yeah,
I would feel like in this case, yeah.
That's like, I would assume like Martin Scorsese's still gonna make movies until he just dies, right?
I think so. Because wasn't that last movie? That was supposed to be his last movie, right? Supposedly.
Exactly. It's kind of like he's just gonna be creative and like, I'll make another one. I got time. Shit.
Yeah. Freaking like I'm trying to think about Because I thought Irishman was going to be his last movie because that was Joe Pesci's last movie. Like Joe Pesci came out of retirement to do that movie.
I can't watch 3 hours of a show on Netflix, man.
Hold it!
However, I have been watching Mobile Suit Gundam on Netflix. Oh, good, man.
The original, the original,
the movie versions of the original series. They split it up into like 3 movies, so it's condensed. So it's no fillers, dude.
It's pretty quick.
Oh, it goes by so quick. I'm like,
hell yeah.
Oh, good.
Are you gonna watch Mobile Suit Origin next?
Yeah, I've been back on my anime bullshit on Netflix. I'm like, let's do it.
You see so long though. There's so many stories to UC because it's like what you have the original Gundam, you have 8th MS Team, you have. I'm trying to go in chronological order. So you have 8th MS Team, you have Mobile Suit Gundam.
That's hard.
You have or at least for the UC. I only know UC. And then you have the Gundam. Yeah, no, I'm not. We're not even at Char's counterattack yet.
Fuck.
We're at so we did Mobile Suit, we did 8th MS Team, we did Mobile Suit Origin. I think you should watch in conjunction with that. And then you're gonna have Gundam Stardust Memory. That's actually really important. You're gonna need to watch that, and then you're gonna watch all of Zeta Gundam. You can watch the movie trilogy, by the way. They did a remake movie trilogy to give it a happier ending. And then you have right after that you have Char's Counterattack. You have Hathaway, the one on Netflix right now.
Yeah,
it's about
Hathaway.
Yeah, it's about his son.
Anne Hathaway.
It's about Anne Hathaway. Just kidding. No, it's that
she becomes a mobile
because that's the commander from the Mobile Suit Gundam, right? That's his last name.
Which one?
The one that rides with Rey. He's the captain of the ship or something.
Bright or something.
Bright, yeah. Bright Hathaway. So Hathaway is about his son teaming up with the Zeon. So that's after Char's Counterattack. And then you have
God damn. That is a lot. God damn it.
Then you have UC is really long. I forgot what you have. I'm not sure where Thunderbolt fits in. I know Thunderbolt's in there. And then you have the Gundam Unicorn series right after. That's the latest because the little girl, the little Zeon girl in it, Minerva, I think.
Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, she's the little Zabi girl, like the youngest one. The one, I think she has green hair or something like that, or auburn hair or brown hair. She is an adult in Unicorn Gundam, and she's the final conclusion to bringing everything for in full circle. So yeah, you have a whole fucking series to watch, man.
No, I was like. I got back into my kick after watching the Evangelion movies on fucking Amazon Prime. I'm like,
oh, yeah, you watched all 4 of them?
Yeah,
it's crazy, right?
So fucking good. Oh my god,
holy shit! It's
that
weird.
Shit is like fucking Inception, like fucking The Time. Oh my god, yeah, it's fucked up. It's fucked up,
bro. So when someone asked me like, "Is this a remake?" and I kind of looked at them and I'm like. It's a spoiler if I tell you. it kind of is. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, I can't explain. The first one is
1.0. Yeah, it's pretty much a remake.
It's pretty much a remake. And it is its own story from there.
You're like, what?
Yeah. And then by the time you finish the 4th movie, like, what the fuck am I watching? There is so much shit going on in this movie. It's crazy. Like...
I was so confused. Like I have to have wiki at the same time. I was like, oh god, damn, this makes more sense.
Yeah. Oh god. But no, we don't talk about spoilers on this one. Not yet. It's kind of fresh. But anyways, yeah. God, that was
I'll also say, speaking of fucking other anime random shit, did you know that somebody uploaded uh serial experiments lane onto Wayback Machine.
What's Wayback Machine?
Like if you go to like archive.org,
Oh yeah.
someone put it on there. The whole fucking series.
What?
I was
How?
like,
The fuck?
I don't know. Someone did it, and I was like, no way that it's all fucking like 13 episodes. And I looked at it, I was like, it is all 13 episodes.
Damn. I need to go back and watch that series.
I remember watching it as a freshman, and I had no idea what the fuck it was going on. And then like I tried watching it as a senior in high school, and like I still don't know what's going on. So hopefully, as a 30 something, I can probably watch it and be like, this is very, very like way beyond its time.
Oh, dude, that series. Same with Evangelion. I think that was beyond its time too.
That is way beyond its time. Like
even Gundam was way beyond its time. God.
in the like in terms of like robots and actually having a storyline besides just fighting robots. Yeah, it was.
That was way beyond its time. Holy
way
shit.
beyond its time.
And that's what I like about Magical Girl Madoka, because that's kind of beyond. Okay, I don't want to say beyond its time. Maybe it is beyond its time, but at least like it changed the genre, right? It changed the look of the genre, and I think that's what Evangelion did to the Gundam Macross genre, and what Madoka did to the Magical Girl genre, like Sailor Moon and Cardcaptor Sakura. Those animes just completely changed the way that how we look at like storytelling in anime. But yeah, damn, I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you're having your anime kick. I've been trying to get back into it.
I was like, oh, I gotta get into it. I was like, oh.
Does Amelia just like
there's a lot? No, I can't watch. I was like, I can't watch Evangelion with fucking little child.
But she wouldn't know what's going on. She's like, this is so abstract.
I can't even watch Gundam. It's like it looks so outdated. Like just the animation style is so bad. No, I watch it while I'm like on my computer working and shit. But I'm like, yeah. But like I was watching Interstellar on TikTok again.
5555 or whatever, or Interstellar.
It was movie. Like Interstellar the movie. God, it was like part movie. 1. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yo, like honestly, I think like how in Gundam, like the idea that humankind is meant to be like evolved to live in space. I'm like, I think there's like concepts that in Interstellar. I'm like, yeah, that's actually sounds about right. Like, I think we are destined to live in space. We're gonna evolve to live in space, like as a human race and shit.
Yeah, it kind of looks that way. Everyone's going to space for some reason, man. Like India just went to space, China went to space, Japan went to space recently. The whole news of JAXA, I think is crazy. I'm like, why does everyone want to go to space all of a sudden? US is getting ready to go put people back on the moon. Like, the fuck? Like, what's like the sudden need for the space race again? But I mean,
because people can and it's cheaper.
That's true. And
it's like, probably cheaper, right? To do your research that you've been kind of like doing theoretically for like the last 50 years.
But the thing was like, NASA did it already. NASA did it, and like the power of our like smartphones are stronger than what NASA had at that time. So
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like what's
they
next?
Just want their own research.
Yeah, they're gonna connect
your own research.
Get your own space dust. The stuff on Mars, I still follow the stuff that happens on Mars, and that shit's always so wild to me. I just look like damn, that's a dusty ass planet. That's all I say.
That's why, like at the end of Interstellar, spoiler alert here, I don't care, but like, yo, that's the same fucking planet as Mars, dog. Basically, this is rocky ass shit.
Oh, the one where
Anne Hathaway lands on.
Speaking of Hathaway. Yeah. Speaking of Hathaway. Yeah, no, that's like, the trip.
This is fucking Mars, bro. Like, what the fuck?
You know, that'd be a trip in life. It's like, well, the answers to life are there. It's just, we just had to go to Mars, not go through this black hole or anything like that. Everybody was just on Mars. But, anyways, what a nerdy ass topic to talk about. We just hella nerded out. Hell yeah.
We just talk talking about time space.
Marvel.
The fifth angel just fucking reincarnating every fucking time.
Apes. AI. We got it all today, buddy. AI. Oh god. Speaking of like anime kicks, there's this manga I'm thinking about reading, but I know it's like it's not for like the faint of heart. I've been trying to get back into series and to animes that are just so that explore like human emotions. Like for example, there's this manga I want to read, but the theme is failure, like human failure. Like there is just, I think pretty much there's no redemption for anyone in this series. It's just how people continue to fuck up their lives. That's the whole theme of the manga. It's if you want to check it out,
bro.
yeah. Like the main character, he comes from like a broken house, and you know, he comes home one day and like his mom's like bleeding, and like the dad's like, oh, there was a robber who came in and tried to mug us, and I stopped. He got your mom, but I stopped him, and he ran away, kind of thing. And the kid's like, okay, and then like he goes to his room and like sleeps, kind of thing. Like it's so fucking dark. It's like so much like apathy, and it's about like toxic relationships and like just perception, abuse. It's fucking wild. And the guy who wrote it was like, I was not giving these people a happy ending. Like none of them are gonna go out happy. Like it's so fucking dark. Like I'm gonna watch it or I'm gonna read it. I don't think it's ever gonna become an anime. It's so dark that the author drew the main character as a bird, like a really badly drawn bird, like a little third grader drew it or something. But everyone perceives the bird as a human, though. That's just the thing. If you ever hear it, it's called Oyasumi Punpun, and it's.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I need to be enlightened, not fucking talk to me about space shit, not dark fucking human emotion.
Yeah. I guess like that's the kind of like anime things I've been kind of watching lately. Well, not that dark, but like kind of like a little bit more grounded, a little bit more less fantasy, I guess. Like the one I'm really watching right now is Delicious in Dungeon on Netflix. It's such a wholesome show. It's so wholesome. It's about these adventurers, and a guy's trying to like save his sister because like a dragon ate her, but the dragon has like a slow digestive system, so they can still save her. But so they're going down this dungeon, and a guy learns how to cook monsters in there, and they just share food, and they're like, "Oh, maybe we can eat this," kind of thing, and they just make meals with the monsters. So fun. It's so fun. It's so lighthearted. It's great. So I've been watching stuff like that lately. I need something dark to balance that out. That's why.
Oh my god.
I need something dark. Yeah, I watched Jujutsu Kaisen lately. God, that's so good. But man, that's so dark too. That's so dark. And that's another one you should watch if you're really into shonens. It's really good. I tried not to buy into the hype.
I think I was trying to buy into the hype. I don't think I got past the first episode. I was like, this is intriguing. I might come back to this.
First
like
season,
I'm willing to go
really
back
slow.
to like Attack on Titan. So like
I still can't. I tried. I cannot get back. I cannot get into Attack on Titan. And then like I do admit Jujutsu Kaisen season 1 was kind of like it's kind of slowish, but season 2 really, really is fucking good. It's really fucking good. I was like, God damn, this series is like the right amount of like shonen and like dark I need in an anime. I just like dark shit now. I don't know why. Nothing.
Bitch, because you're unemployed.
Like I either need something really dark or something like super light and like fun. I don't even know how to describe it.
That's like my viewing choices too. Like I don't like except for being dark. I just want. Can you just like give me brainless shit, like light shit, like
Delicious in Dungeon. Delicious in Dungeon is good. I like watching anime about people at work. I don't know why. That shit's funny to me. Like there's the one I watched called the Masterful Cat is Depressed Again, and it's about like a cat taking care of his overworked office lady who can't take care of herself.
Or even like my go-to for that type shit is like Midnight Stories, the Tokyo Diner one. I'm like,
Oh, that
just
one's
watch
good.
that shit.
That
It's
one's good
so
too.
good. I'm like, oh, it's just like it's such a like very like yeah. I want to travel to Japan just to kind of like experience that. I don't forget what you call that like area. You just
That
like pop in.
izakaya kind of. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's like six seats at like this dude's stall restaurant, and you just
Yep.
kind of like eat.
Sounds like Shinjuku. Yeah. Oh god, I did that at a Super Nintendo cafe, or it was a bar that didn't really have food, but they had a Super Nintendo, and they're like, "Find a seat. We got some canned food. We'll open that up. Here's a drink. Also, here's your Super Nintendo controller if you want to play a game." This shit was so bizarre. I love that stuff. I love that bar. I could barely fit. I'm small, and I could barely fit in there. That shit was wild. Anyways, yeah. All right, we're hitting up an hour. We should. Yeah, I was gonna talk about my topic, but that's gonna be on for a while. So, we'll save that for next time.
Save it for next time. Regular episodes again.
Yeah. All right.
2024.
What a start. Nerd out. That's what we do.
Like
We
the
nerd
fucking
out.
most anime we talked about, like
In a while.
in a really long. I think maybe in our first 10 episodes, this is like the most anime I've talked about. I think.
Because the first episode we talked about Ghost in the Shell. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, this is super anime. I love
maybe
it.
I need to watch the fucking Ghost in the Shell series.
Oh, the latest one? The one on Netflix?
No, I honestly I've never seen, even when it was on Cartoon Network, I didn't see fucking any of it. Because I was so like purist. I'm like, man, the movie is so good. I don't need to fucking watch these stupid fucking series.
I heard they're all pretty good. I heard for the most part they were really good. Yeah. We'll see. I haven't seen them though. You tell me how to. If it's good, you let me know.
We'll see.
I'm trying to watch some older animes lately, like noir. So, girls with guns. Because
that sounds familiar.
Because of that genre is kind of, it got reintroduced with like this one series called like Cross's Recoil, and like it was like nominated, I think, best original anime of last year.
Oh shit, noir! Yeah, I remember. I think I have that somewhere on Burn CD.
Oh yeah, no, it was definitely.
That's
it's about like a French
familiar.
assassin group. Yeah, it's like a French.
It was like girls with guns, right?
Yeah, it's girls with guns.
Yeah, I think I have that. I was like, that sounded very familiar. Like peak anime news network and Anna Pike. That sounded really familiar.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking about watching.
God, I'm so old. God damn, I've been on this fucking internet.
Yeah, you're the one who sent me that one meme that says, "I don't get the difference between Full Metal Jacket, Full Metal Panic, and Full Metal Alchemist."
The worst series of all time.
Those are all three good stuff. Those are all three great stuff. They should be on the same level. That's how good they are. Anyways,
that's right. Okay. One last segment. What are you hype on?
Oh, what I'm hype on? Games. Nothing but games this year. It's if you've heard, Elden Ring finally threw down the trailer of Shadows of the Erdtree. It's gonna be out June 21st this year. And they said the expansion is gonna be huge. It's gonna be like their biggest expansion in any game they've ever done. And they're unsure if they're gonna do a second DLC, but as of right now, this is gonna be it. It's gonna be centered around Mikola and this new character we don't know of, but supposedly he is the he is the son of Marika and Radagon. So this one's gonna be called Mesmar the Impaler. His lore looks pretty crazy. I was gonna nerd out and talk about him a little bit, but it's only speculation, man. He looks like a Drake Knight, and he looks like he takes part in Dragon Communion, but that's only if you know the story. Another game that's also coming out this year is Shin Megumi Tensei 7 coming out also. Yeah, Rebirth is coming out. The one I'm actually more excited for, other than Elden Ring, is Shin Megumi Tensei Vengeance, which is a different retelling of Shin Megumi Tensei 5. And if you don't know what that game is, it's like because Persona just came out. Persona 3 Reload just came out 2 weeks ago. I finally finished it. I don't know. I got nothing better to do, so I just throwing down 100 hours in the game so easy for me now. And so I finished that. That was a good game.
You're dying, fool.
I know I'm dying. And then like what this basically is, it's like a really hard version of like the Persona series. So I'm excited for that. Also dark. And then Sons of the Forest came out today. Games. And then was it you who sent me the whole Tyler thing with Louis Vuitton?
Yeah.
Holy shit! Yeah, that's sick. Like, well, in terms of fashion, that's sick. So what was it exactly? Is he working on it, or Pharrell's throwing
I
him
believe,
shit?
I think Pharrell was like, "Yo, you want to do a collabo, like this little capsule, do a new print, get some scarves in it, check out this chest set. Oh yeah, fucking sick.
I'm hyped about that too. I don't know what's gonna happen.
I'm glad Pharrell has even though I've been like skeptical just because like Louis Vuitton just needed like name recognition to be like relevant to streetwear. Folks. Yeah. I was like, man, yeah, I bet you could have pulled somebody who actually like was working their way to be the next creative head, but I'm also very conflicted and excited for like this Tyler little capsule. So
really?
That looks really fresh. Yeah. I was like,
wait, why are you so skeptical about it?
Well, because like I didn't like when the collection, his intro collection, Pharrell's with like the Minecraft camo.
Oh, whatever.
I wasn't a fan. And then like the Louis Vuitton Timberland collabo, I was like, what is this? This looks like knockoff fake shit. I was like, what are we doing here? And then it's like, oh, Tyler does some like cool shit.
He does like some wild, because you know why? You know why you like his stuff is because it's kind of reminiscent of what we used to do back then, kind of thing. He does like silly ass designs, right? It's not about like cut and sew or anything like that. It's just about like a cat and a banana and like golf wang kind of thing, or it's like picture of two donuts or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's sick, it's simple, it's playful, and if he could bring that energy to Louis Vuitton, that would be really, really welcome. It'd be kind of weird for like the fashion heads, but I think for the streetwear people, it's gonna be really good. I think it's really good.
Well,
I'm excited.
Yeah, because like I'm also on my I'm back on my like high school like 2005 04 shit. I'm like back into thrifting like these kids and shit. I'm like just finding random pieces. I'm like, what the fuck? Like just like the joy of like going into like a Buffalo exchange or a fucking or a fucking like Goodwill or just a random thrift store. I'm like, oh shit, it's like I'm in high school again. I'm just trying to save a buck. Now I'm just trying to find like specific things. It's cool.
I actually want to take my nieces thrifting. I'm like, all right, we're gonna go Buffalo Exchange, we're gonna go Goodwill, we're gonna be out all day, just going to like TPB and North Park and blah blah blah, picking up shit.
Yeah, I miss that shit.
Yeah. No, that shit was fun. I remember going to Salvation Army a lot, and I got called a jacket queen once. It's like, the fuck? Guaranteed. I just get nothing but jackets over there. They're like, damn, it doesn't even get cold in San Diego. Why are you getting so many jackets?
Bro, I caught some like fucking hockey jerseys. I don't fucking play hockey, but I was like, yo, this is tight for like $10.
Yeah. Ugh. I don't know. Maybe I might go to Portland in February or April. Well, I'll let you know.
Like, just let us know.
I know. Yeah. I don't know if my friend wants me to stay with them too, but then if not, then I'll hit you up.
Yeah, just fucking let us know.
A show. Alright. What are you hyped on?
Motherfucker, I just told you, just being a fucking, that was my thrifting. Thrifting.
Yeah, that's right.
Thrifting and like surfing on like Mercari and like eBay for like deals on random shit. Like that's just kind of like,
you know,
it's like bringing back my like high school like consumerism. It's like, oh, like just I like buying reused shit or like used shit because it's definitely cheaper than fucking buying it brand new, unless I really like the thing that's brand new.
You know, now that you mention it, I've been going on eBay a lot lately because I've been trying to find like kid robot hoodies. Like, there's a specific kid robot hoodie I'm looking for. I'm not sure how it exactly looks like, but I'll know the moment I see it. So I'm like, but man,
the pink and yellow one?
No. It's a dunny one. I think it's the navy one, the navy silver one. Ugh. Yeah, I'm trying to find that, and then trying to find like a nice cardigan.
Dude, cardigans, I think right now in fashion, this is like my one fashion take. I think fashion is becoming peak 2007 with like JV fashion. It's really weird right now. Like, you go to like the high-end websites and they're selling cardigans. I'm like, motherfucker, this is just JV shit from like 07, 08, dog.
Like, just never give it up.
JV was wearing this shit, dog, with the fucking loafers, dog. Get the fuck, I was doing this shit. I was like, Tyler now, I'm like, literally without like, just change the hat to like a fitted hat. I'm like, that's just JV, what he was doing back in 07 and 08. With the sweater vest, with the t-shirt. Like, come on, that's the same shit. Just swap the burqa thing to a fucking fitted hat. It's the same. I don't know. It's not a burqa. Whatever the fuck. Yeah. The Russian shit. Yeah, I don't know what it's called.
I just call those Canadian winter hats, or I don't know, something like that.
That's what I was like. This fucker, like, sometimes you're like too fucking future for this shit. I'm like, this is stupid. God damn it. Your nephew wants to dress like you, basically, and like
he wears like baggier clothes. That's the thing. And like, I told him like the only thing you can't do baggy is like a fitted, like a suit. That's like the only thing you can't do baggy. And like, you should do everything else baggy, but when it comes to a suit, don't wear a baggy ass suit. That's it. It just doesn't look appealing. It looks like you're a child in a adult outfit kind of thing. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I told him if I was gonna criticize him, like, about his outfits, because he said like, well, I'm thinking about wearing more fitted stuff. I'm like, you don't have to, but when it comes to suits, wear fitted suits. It's at the funeral. That's why I was like, he's wearing a baggy ass suit, and I'm like, it looks sick. But also,
you're roasting him.
Like, I'm not really roasting him. I just said like, it's a sick outfit. It looks like something I'd see from Fashion Week kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
damn, you flew from Fashion Week for here.
Yeah,
damn.
Yeah. But like, at least for me, when I think of a suit, it's fitted. It's a nice fitted look. Professional, you know what I mean? Speaks power, and that didn't speak power. Anyway.
I think a suit, if you're the right proportions, like, you can do baggy, but it should be in the right proportion. It could be in the right.
You have to be like a big dude to do baggy suits. Yeah, it's very contoured to the body. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, otherwise you're like you're the pants. Either you have to go high on the waist, so like to your chest, like a zoot suit. So you're just like wearing like up here, and it's like small ass tie. So it kind of does look like on short kings like myself. I can't be doing that. So I have to be somewhat fitted and tailored a little bit better.
True. You can't wear like high rise pants. Mm-mm.
I can't wear vertical stripes. No, it's the white.
You can't
stripes.
You can't wear horizontal stripes.
Yeah,
horizontal stripes make you look longer. Yeah. Makes you look longer and bigger. Random question before we go. What do you think about low rises? Low rise. Like, what do you think about low jeans? Rise? Yeah, is that a young person thing now, or?
Yeah. I
think fitted, or
I can't.
High rise, mid rise to high rise.
I don't want to feel like a boomer and shit, but I'm like, the proportions, like, I just can't see it. It's these like trends, and it's hard to see coming back. So like when I think low-rise jeans on dudes, it's kind of like you're just gonna wear either you have like a midriff, like you're gonna be out with the belly out, or like you know what I'm saying,
sacking it hella hard.
or you sell it, or you're gonna wear the wife bead like fucking long.
That's right. Yeah. And your boxers have to be showing just a little bit. Like you're sagging it so low that it's like on the top part of your thighs kind of thing, and you have your belt just holding it. Like,
that's why it's like it's a trip now,
thing,
like
right?
yeah, how like how Calvin Klein, you know, like those had the boxers with the fucking name on top. It's like that. But it'll be like fucking Supreme boxers, and then it's like the low rise. Oh yeah, I don't know, man. Like fashion's a trip to see.
Yeah, it is.
It's always, especially like 20 years later, and like these trends from like '04 are coming back. You're like, fuck.
For real.
I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back.
Yeah. My niece wears Jinkos. It's crazy in a good way. It's crazy. I support it. I think it's awesome. I think her fashion sense is like really interesting. But I'm just like, God damn, this feels like you just really, really took over your parents' closet or something like that.
Do you feel like
she's wearing a Biggie portrait shirt and like Jinkos? I was like, what the fuck is this? It's tight, but I just wouldn't imagine you wearing this.
Do you think that like? Oh, this is my last question before we like almost an hour 30 into this.
Yeah, we gotta wrap.
No, but like, do you think this new gen, because of trends, do you think that what they're wearing out, like to school or whatever, like, do you think it's a shorter life cycle?
Yes.
For this, because it's like they're just gonna wear it, but they haven't found the style for it. Like they don't have a style. They're just kind of wearing trends.
Isn't that what we did? Like I feel like that's what we did, and when we were younger, we're kind of just wearing things to wear them, trying to figure out like what made us unique and cool. Competing on Karma Loop, who can grab the shirt and wear it first, so you don't have to wear the same shirt to the same party.
Rest in peace, Karma Loop, man. God damn, that was the time.
Wait, isn't it still up?
That was the time. No, I mean I don't think so.
Oh
no,
that. I don't think the Casbah is up anymore.
Shit, you said Casbah. God damn, I remember that time.
Casbah is where it's at, man. If you want to figure out all like the indie developers, that was it.
Oh yeah, that's how you jack shit. That's how you jack designs.
Yeah. I still have my bear hoodie from there.
I was gonna say, dude, I recently saw like God, it's so many tangents. No, a houndstooth hoodie. I swear, I was like, God damn, houndstooth is back. JV, it's just back. It was like all over print, black. I was like, this is a JV hoodie. It's back. God damn.
Damn, I let go of my houndstooth stuff. That was like one design I wasn't too confident in. I was like, I think this is dead. Kind of like how I think Parsley's dead. Paisley is dead. Like, I think this is a dead design. I don't have to go to this. So if I see Paisley up, I'll be convinced.
the big houndstooth, I agree, that was kind of like a trend, but like the smaller, like that was like the sweet spot.
Oh, okay, I'll agree. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I think you have a point about like, yeah, I think this new gen of like, I guess being a teenager and a young person, you kind of like play with trends until you find something that like fits you.
And it always keeps changing. That's the thing. Even when you get older, like what? I don't think it really changes until you hit 30, right? Or at least our age. Because I'm finally going to settle down.
Yeah, then you finally find, at least you get to a point where you have enough pieces in your closet and you be like, yeah, this is actually my style. Well, yeah, what's that?
Yeah, long ass cardigans, short cardigans, long cardigans.
No button cardigans,
floofy cardigans.
All right, we went an hour and 30. Okay.
All right, we're gonna close it here. All right.
Like and subscribe, y'all. Follow us on Spotify. This has been episode 58. the most random streetwear, anime, gaming, fucking episode fucking we've had in a really long time. See you guys next time. Peace.
Like